Huni's a name that brings a smile to your face.
I'm really famous, you know? Hello. I go nyam 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 nyam. Oh, big problem, guys. Why? Why not? I love it.
It's a name that doesn't follow the rules.
This means we either have a Corki or a Lucian top lane.
Coming in the first game of the series.
I mean, this is actually what we're hoping for.
Lucian.
Lucian top.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, Huni.
All eyes on Huni.
A name that has achieved.
Immortals is running right over them. Huni with the phase dive. Huni with the quadra. The fall. Is it going to be the penta? Huni in the final game of their spring split gets a pentakill.
Fnatic have an uncontested Nexus, and they will finally win the spring split.
It's a name that people remember.
Huni.
Huni has arrived and holy crap! Everyone's dying in this fight. Reckless goes down. Zatai gets a bunch down, but Huni, the double, the steal, the triple kill, the quadra kill for Huni.
But before people knew his name, his charm story started with failure. This is his story. Born in South Korea in 1997, a young Huni grew up playing video games. He played so much that his mother admitted that the amount of time her son spent in front of the computer was a source of worry, but not enough to act on, since he still managed to do well in school. Huni was by no means an immediate prodigy, and has said that being placed into bronze helped drive him to improve. Within a few months, his play on the South Korean ladder was enough to get him noticed, and at 17, he became a practice member for the Samsung organization.
From Korea, Samsung fight Samsung Bolivia.
He eventually got to try out for his dream job, a potential starting position with Korean giants SK Telecom T1. But the team decided to stick with top laner Marin, and Huni decided not to accept a substitute position with the team. Meanwhile, Huni's friend Reignover had also tried out for SKT, but lost the jungler spot to Bengi. Following the tryouts, Huni and Reignover made a fateful decision that would alter the course of their journeys. They moved to Europe as a duo and joined Fnatic for the upcoming 2015 season.
I feel comfortable to have young brother beside me because I just feel better than alone.
Fnatic's new roster represented a changing of the guard as Reckless, Soaz, Xpeke, and Cyanide all left the organization.
Even though we're all good players and enemies on the Rift, we will still be friends in real life.
Though the latter two had proven to be good enough for a Season 1 championship, Korea's ascent had shifted the landscape. Yellowstar would be the only holdover from Fnatic's 2014 roster, adding Huni, Reignover, Febiven, and Steelback ahead of the 2015 season.
There is no longer any egos in the team anymore. It's a fresh start. You're basically building it from the ground up. There is no old tendencies that you have left in that team.
But now a part of a new generation of Fnatic players, Huni wasted no time in becoming one of the West's most popular players. His unique blend of in-game skill and aggression made him exciting to watch.
Huni's been caught out. Wicked has got so much damage down before he gets locked up by that glacial tomb. Now we see Wicked rooted in place. Huni is going to put the damage from afar and get out cleanly.
And his whimsical and lovable attitude made him relatable to millions of League of Legends fans.
유명해질 줄은 제가 이렇게 말하기는 그런데 유명해질 줄은 몰랐고 레딧도 그렇고 제 팬들 분께서도 저를 굉장히 좋아해 주셔서 다행이라고 생각하고 있습니다. 그리고 앞으로도 좋은 모습 많이 보여드릴 거고 팬들 분께 감사하다는 말씀드리고 싶습니다.
Not only did Huni make a splash with fans, he made one in the top lane as well. He led EULCS top laners in kill participation and first blood percentage in his rookie split. He ended the split with a 3.9 KDA, a respectable number that would have been even better if not for his 65 deaths in 18 games. He also had the highest team death share percentage, 28.1% of any top laner to play the full 18-game season.
Stat with the two Dragon averages. Rockets usually want to take one a lot later, and Fnatic, well,
They're the ones who couldn't contest this time around. Meanwhile, though, Steve is getting chunked out by Huni, who's finally gotten rolling, and he's stunned up after the flash. Huni follows him through and solos him down.
To put it bluntly, Huni was a top laner that took risks that often paid off, loved team fighting and roaming, and didn't care if he died as long as his team came out on top.
Great numbers of Rocket, though. They're stacking on the bottom side. Flash and ult on the Huni. He's going to not be stunned up, though. The Dark Binding doesn't connect. Teleports to flying. Yellowstar comes in. Woolite is going to be the one shut down as Yellowstar picks it up. Huni still focused down. He'll finally fall. Emperor's Divide will push Rocket back into the tower as Steve gets poked down by the Sand Soldiers. In comes Rainover. Flash for Flash. Yellowstar for Nuke Tuck.
And they killed Huni, but at what cost? Fnatic, good reaction, defending the dive.
Fans who play the game can respect a solid laner with a more reserved style of play, but they admired what they saw as one of their own, a young, hungry, and joyous gamer living the esports dream.
Why they so all shut up?
We're all nervous.
What? Is this nervous?
Yes.
Oh, big problem, guys.
After finishing in second during the regular season, the team progressed through the playoffs, first defeating H2K Gaming in 5 games before taking out the Unicorns of Love in the championship match.
Descendants connects onto Hillisang though, that's not who they want. Where's the Glacial Prison? That's what we're looking for. Fish is available as well. Equalizer knocks everyone backward. Shockwave doesn't manage to get, but look at the prison. Where is Phonix? He's down. Fnatic are on the game-winning team fight. They managed to get 4. They look at Vizicachi. It is an ace. Fnatic will now push under the Nexus. The death timers are too high, and the magic from Unicorns has finally run out.
The first place finish guaranteed the team a spot at the mid-season invitational and became a point of regional pride for Huni.
Now, Huni, who would you like to face? There's still a lot of teams that are trying to vie for that mid-season invitational. Who do you want to play against?
I'm not sure, but I want again versus NA team because I want to show Europe LCS is better than NA LCS.
You heard it right here. EU better than NA, guys.
But before he was set to compete at MSI, Huni won the Outstanding Rookie of the Split award, and his reaction, like so many other moments in his first split, was priceless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the teams competing in the 2015 Mid-Season Invitational, representing the European League Championship Series, Season 1 World Champions, Fnatic.
While Fnatic had a great storyline heading into MSI, it was unclear how well they would do against international competition. But after Fnatic defeated TSM and Besiktas Esports Club, he found himself across the river from a man whose job he had once dreamed of having, SKT's star top laner, Mara.
훈이 선수는 한국에서 솔로 랭크에서 많이 만나봤는데 기대되는 반면 또 이길 자신도 있는 상대입니다.
As Huni saw it, this was a chance for him to show the team that had turned him down that they had made a mistake.
Come on! It's visiting Huni. You talked about SKT playing around Huni, and now they are doing it. Equalizer is down. It's Korean on Korean battle, and it's Huni that wins. Huni takes down Faker in a 2v1, and Forbidden once more. That's a double kill for Huni.
And while they didn't win, Fnatic did the next best thing. They took SKT to 5 games, and in the process, Huni showed the world that he could compete against the world's best.
Wow, Fnatic in a team huddle. They can definitely be proud of their performance. Almost everybody expected a 3-0 coming into today. I expected a 3-0 coming in today, and these guys made SK work harder than they've had to in a very long time.
What followed for Huni in the summer split was the only perfect season in the West. Fnatic went 18-0, and many of their games were won in dominant fashion.
Fnatic look to end this game quicker than we've seen this entire split, and Fnatic will become the first team in LCS history to do it. The perfect split, 18-0.
Fnatic, they're going to finish it. They're going to kill the Nexus, and they're going to Worlds. They will represent Europe as the #1 seed.
After a 3-2 win over Origin in the summer finals, Fnatic officially punched their ticket to Worlds as Europe's top seed. But, unfortunately, their World Championship aspirations were dashed following a semi-final exit at the hands of Korea's Koo Tigers.
The Koo Tigers have killed Huni. 4 members of Fnatic left to try wave clear, but the Dragon's Rage knocks him in the air. Shockwave cannot even complete, and the Koo Tigers looking to upset the hometown heroes. Koo will get themselves the ace, will get themselves the base, and will earn themselves a shot at the Summoners Cup in Berlin against SK Telecom.
Shocked as they sat on stage after the loss, the team that had made LCS history was cheered on by the crowd in Brussels. Huni had once again found himself matched up against a Korean team and had been defeated. 2015 marked the first and last year that Huni would play in Europe, as he and Reignover made their way to the NALCS for the 2016 season, joining newly established organization Immortals.
After we actually beat EU LCS, and then we wanted to beat NALCS too, and then maybe it's cool to make history again.
His reputation as a carry player already firmly entrenched, Huni even flirted with the idea of a role swap to AD carry. At least there, he would be expected to carry every game. However, he chose to stay in the top lane after a discussion with Reignover.
I wanted to do it, but Reignover told me if I change my role to AD carry, then he will leave from me or on me, so I couldn't do it.
Expectations for the roster were high, given the names on the team, but those expectations were met because it wasn't only Huni's fanbase that followed him, it was also his play.
TV for Bjergsen, he will go in. Ulti's Wild Turtle gets the kill picked up, and suddenly here's Svenskeren as well, knocking back Huni, who still comes back in and grabs it. Another knockup on Svenskeren, just chasing him down. Exhaust doesn't even matter. Huni, a chance on his name, crushing everybody. A quick kill for Powelter, but that is an ace for 1. Immortals are dominating.
Immortals got off to a strong start in the spring split, and the Korean duo were a big part of why the team was undefeated through the first 7 weeks of play.
I was looking at Lorlo's flash because you mentioned it. You said it was down, Kobe! You're a prophet! Oh, they're going for Lorlo because the flash is down! One more, there's the 3-tap, Reignover, and Huni.
And Huni goes right in, takes a bunch of damage, saves the ult for just now, and here goes the team. Altec is going to be first blood in this game, but in the backline, Powelter dies as well, but still sniped down by Wild Turtles culling. A 2-for-1. And Reignover wants to look cool walking to the top lane here. Arm's going to be in a pretty bad spot, lands the Q slow, lands the point blank ulti, and he's going to save the pushback till he's right in front of the wall, but doesn't actually land the stun. So it's going to be a flash from Huni. Wow! Reignover really wanted that kill, so Huni's going to zone the team out as he walks back outside the base.
Finishing first in the spring split with only 1 loss to their name, Immortals were considered the favorites heading into the playoffs. And it was in those playoffs that one of Huni's most infamous moments happened.
Coming into the first game of the series. I mean, this is actually what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
I had heard whispers of Huni's AD carry top lane from practice, and apparently practice went well.
The pick was unconventional, to say the least, and the team lost that game. But that pick has stuck with him, further helping to identify him as an aggressive carry top laner, for better or worse.
So AD carry is a really strong laner, so something like Corki is going to have a lot of priority mid, and even Lucian, he's going to have a lot of priority top. And you get gold leads by taking turrets early, and you either win with that, or if you go late enough into the game, like we saw, you don't have a great comp because you're missing a tank, you're missing a lot of utility, you're also missing teleport from your mid laner usually, so you lose out to the more standard comps of tank in the top, mid bringing a lot of utility.
That series was also the end of Immortals' playoff run, as they were swept by TSM before defeating Liquid in the 3rd place match.
A lot of damage coming in. Immortals still want this fight right in front of the turret. They want Liquid to use all of their resources so they can get it and push on through the inhibitor, but will Liquid let it happen? Immortals is gonna make it happen. They're going for Piglet. Huni hits the barrel right past Liquid's members, and it takes down Piglet. That's 3 members down. Liquid is scattering to keep themselves alive.
They faltered in the semifinals, but they're gonna take down Team Liquid and claim 20 more championship points.
Expectations continued to soar ahead of the summer split, and at least in the regular season, the team delivered.
And that's gonna be 2-0 Immortals in awfully quick fashion.
I have to say,
While TSM are undefeated and they have crushed a lot of their opponents, they have not beat people as badly as Immortals beat teams.
A 16-2 record during the regular season saw Immortals' only losses coming to TSM, but the playoffs, again, were a familiar story.
On to the final Nexus turret itself. Here comes the engage. They're trying to make it happen. A shotgun and a Huni. Impact staying alive. The Nexus now opened up as Cloud9 look for their fifth final, and they're going as a wonderful team to Canada.
Right here, our third team qualifies for Worlds. Are you ready to see who rounds out this entire picture?
In the NA Regional Finals, Immortals were the top seed, but opposite them once again were Cloud9, and Immortals could not get past them and would not qualify for Worlds. Huni had spent a whole year in NA without a single international appearance.
One Nexus turret down, Cloud9 with their eyes on the prize. And they're looking to make it happen. 32 minutes in, the games have been very even across the board, back and forth. Immortals able to grab one, but Cloud9 looking to clinch the victory. They're leaving on a jet plane. Cloud9 are your third seeds for NA at World.
The 2016 offseason brought even more surprises for Huni. Given the impact of his performance, he was re-signed by Immortals. But shortly afterward, he was approached by SK Telecom T1. The best team in the world, who had turned him down in 2014, wanted him on their starting roster. Huni finally had a chance to go back to Korea and play in the LCK, but he had already signed a contract in NA. While Immortals could have simply enforced the contract Huni had already signed, they chose a different approach.
I just joined SKT, so for this video, I just wanted to say to you guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it that all of you guys cheering for me and like supporting IMT or Huni. So I hope you guys are gonna still, you know, cheering for me even though I'm going LCK. And see you at International League or World Championship. I will try my best to make it. Thanks a lot again. Goodbye.
Finally, after 2 years abroad, Huni was coming home.
I couldn't imagine I'm joining in like LCK team. I thought that like I could never get back in Korea to play as pro gamer in competitively because the LCK level is like was insanely high.
Though he had accomplished his goal of making it back to Korea, SKT's top lane signing surprised many fans, and his reputation as primarily a carry player meant that he had to prove that he could play tanks, if that was what the meta required.
I play so much tanks in Scream, of course. Like it's quite the people think that people thought that I never play tanks when I joined. I know actually when I play NA team, they think that I play just only like damage champion. It's so funny.
Though Huni had played on successful teams in Europe and North America, SKT was a different beast. Huni started his first split in Korea by intentionally playing a tank champion, claiming that he wanted to prove his doubters wrong. But in the team's second Week 1 match, he also broke out the Gangplank to remind his opponents that he could still bring the pain.
Down goes the Nexus, and SKT takes another 2-0 victory.
Yeah, and the way that they took this game was way better than game number 1. This was from start to finish, absolute annihilation.
Huni would continue to play both tanks and damage dealers throughout the split. And if there was any doubt about Huni fitting into the team, Faker put those doubts to rest.
후니가 들어오면서 팀이 좀 밝아진 것 같고 뭔가 좀 약간 크레이지한 그런 느낌이 들고요. 그리고 게임 안에서도 좀 어느 정도 단단하게 잘 해주기 때문에.
And the team's 16-2 record was good enough for first place in the LCK.
이번에 우승해서 우리 LCS 브로들 보러 가야 돼요. 영화 안 한 지 너무 오래돼서 너무 그립네. I miss you guys. I'll be there soon.
The team made good on their regular season promise with a 3-0 playoffs win over KT Rolster, and Huni remained a threat on either tanks or carries.
Going low, one more hit would take him out, but SK Telecom in the meantime, they've done it.
Less than 30 minutes on the clock. They take down the Nexus. They take down KT Rolster. They put another championship title on their belt. And Huni winning another split. This time his first in Korea.
While the year in Korea to this point might have been considered a homecoming of sorts, summer brought a new set of challenges, and SKT would bring in Untara as a secondary top laner. Huni, ever the upbeat optimist, remained convinced that the system was good for both players. But in the regular season, Huni's aggressive and more resource-intensive style was often not what SKT wanted. Instead, Untara's safer play was often what was favored, and he would play 25 games to Huni's 16. Untara won 77% of his games, Huni only 46%.
Cube finds Huni, just wants to get himself in the middle of the fight, and bang, is just going to explode now. Wolf has to flash, and Huni's in no man's land. Baroned up super creeps, are smacking on the Nexus. Huni wants to find one pick, the Crown's even going to survive, and it's a triple kill for Ambition. He wanted the Penta, but the Nexus dies first.
In the end, SKT finished in 4th during the regular season. In Korea's gauntlet-style playoffs, SKT would start at the very bottom, a first for the organization.
And for the first time, SKT have to play a postseason match, not in a best-of-5 that we are undoubtedly confident in their performance in. It's just a best-of-3 this time.
As SKT defeated Afrika Freaks, Samsung Galaxy, and KT Rolster, Huni sat on the bench.
Untara will start for SK Telecom. Huni, a star in Spring, a star in MSI, can only find the bench.
He would play 2 games in the team's final series against Longshu, winning on Gnar in Game 3, and then losing on Cho'Gath in the final game of the series.
Wolf jumps his way through the quickness, is just going to spell his death, as Blank is not tanky right now. The Beast doesn't do anything. Faker's going to explode as the massive damage from Prey is going to say goodnight to the king of the mid lane. The Nexus falls, and your new champions of the LCK is Longshu Gaming.
Despite the second place finish in the summer playoffs, SKT had enough championship points to automatically qualify for Worlds. But this too meant another big question for Huni. Rules for Worlds would allow SKT to bring only 6 players. With Huni's spot on that roster unclear, the speculation began online. Between Huni, Untara, Blank, and Peanut, one player would have to be left out. In the end, SKT decided that Huni would give the team the best chance to win the tournament, so they elected to take Blank as their 6th.
It's going to be Huni playing, as far as I know, in the top lane instead of Untara, because the sub situation was a pretty big topic actually throughout this year. Is it going to be Huni? Is it going to be Peanut? Is it going to be Untara? Is it going to be Blank? Right? What is the sub rotation? And they are bringing 2 junglers instead of the double top laner.
It is time to send it down to the stage to kick off the 2017 World Championship.
After a 5-1 group stage performance, SKT was brought to their limit in the quarterfinals by surprise European success story Misfits. Going a full 5 games, SKT was able to seal the deal and make it to the semifinals.
SKT, 5 games in, trying to avoid elimination, and they have done so. SK Telecom T1 will be your second team in the semifinals, claiming victory over Misfits Gaming.
With that victory over Misfits, Huni had made history. He had become the first ever League of Legends player to reach the top 4 at Worlds in 2 different regions.
Yeah, and for Huni, he's been on both sides of this.
In the semifinals, SKT was against Chinese powerhouse Royal Never Give Up. Again, it was a tense 5-game series, but a massive engage from Huni would end the series decisively in his team's favor.
He has to respect Faker's fight comes in. Huni goes for the Mega Gnar! The triple stun! Here's the follow through! It's gonna be 2 already! And into the back lane goes Letney, cannot kill off Wolf though as the Chinese members are falling left and right. Uzi on the run, Peanut here to follow soon! Jumps forward, finds the dunk to flash away, but it's a 3v5. Can you win this fight and make it down to 2? This could be the death now. Uzi trying to kite from Huni. It's not gonna happen. That's 4. That's gonna be 5. That's the ace. And the legend of SK Telecom will not die today.
Huni was a single best-of-5 series away from the World Championship. After all he had endured, his exodus to the West, his return to Korea and proving he could play tanks, his hardships during the summer split, he was so close to the ultimate goal. But Samsung Galaxy had other plans.
And Samsung Galaxy push mid first.
As you can see, the
Flash ult left. They've caught Faker. They've got the CC. The mid laner is down. The unkillable Demon King has done just that. As Ruler stays in, life stealing. In the back line, they found more as Huni does not have a way out. Pops the ult, but he has no exit route. 2 more autos will kill him down, but he gets to run away. They twitch to their aggro. They knock down Wolf instead. 5v3 in mid. That signals the end of the SKT dynasty. There are no turrets. It is 5 versus 3. Huni, do you have what it takes to win the game? Big certainly does not. Ruler on the Nexus. The upset is complete as the kills come through. The SKT dynasty is over. All hail the new kings. Samsung Galaxy, your 2017 World Champions.
Huni's dream of winning Worlds as an LCK player instead became a nightmare, and it was a moment that not even the joyous top laner could withstand. Regardless, it was not a surprise to see Huni bounce back. He headed back to the only region he hadn't won a split in, the newly franchised NALCS. And as a throwback, Huni played the infamous top Lucian in his first game back.
Insta-luck Lucian. That is Lucian top. I'm fairly certain. There's almost no chance that it is going somewhere else.
Huni's journey across League of Legends is unique. To return to Korea after leaving to start his career in the West is unprecedented. To amass so many fans in the process is heartwarming. And his contagious optimism leaves even his most skeptical fans wondering if another Worlds appearance is so unlikely now that he has left Korea. That's why, in typical Huni fashion, he views his time with SKT as a growth experience.
I proved that I'm really good, and also I got better. And it's really nice to see you guys again.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.